Go ahead.
and all the coasts of Palestine.
Right, they call them Palestinians, which are Arabs. Go ahead.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
In other words, you think you're going to buy the Most High out? Oh yeah, I did enslave your people, but I'm gonna pay you this much, so I don't got to go into slavery. Most High said, no, I don't want your goddamn money, or your silver, or your gold. Read that.
Because you have taken my silver and my gold.
Now that's how you know they ain't talking about no Hamites, no Canaanites, because they ain't got no silver and no gold down there and living in them huts. That's talking about them Arabs. There's one of them museums up there where I think it's a Middle Eastern section, and they show you the mosque. The walls and the ceilings actually have gold and silver and rubies in the walls. Go ahead.
And have carried into your temples.
Into your temples? What Hamite got temples? They got mud huts, man. They ain't got no goddamn temples. Them Arabs, them Mohammedans, they got temples. Go ahead.
My goodly pleasant things.
My goodly pleasant things. Elephant shit is not a good pleasant thing. That's right. That's what them damn Hamites got. Dirt huts. Go ahead.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians.
Read that again.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians.
Now the word Grecian right there is not talking about Hellenin or Hellenists. When you go to the New Testament and it says the Greeks to the Jews first and also the Greeks, the word there for Greek is Hellenin, which are Israelites in a Greek state of mind or a Gentile state of mind. And a lot of them spoke Greek. Why do you think Paul spoke Greek? To speak to them Israelites that spoke Greek. That was in a Greek or a Gentile state of mind. Why do you think he told them in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, the first two verses, ye were Gentiles. Some of you were Romans. That's why you had a book called the Book of Romans. Some of you were living in Ephesus. That's why you got a book called the Book of Ephesians. Some of you were living in Galatia. That's why you had a book called the Book of Galatia. Some of you were living up in Corinth, up there in Greece. That's why they got a book called the Book of Corinthians. All right? Ephesus. I mentioned that. Go ahead.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians.
Now this word Grecian is the word Yawan. That's the word, Yawan. Now, go from there to the Table of Nations. Genesis, I want you to go there. Genesis, the 10th chapter. And I want you to go right to Japheth, which is really pretty much like the first, second, third verse.
Yeah, the second verse.
Matter of fact, start the first verse.
Let's go.
Genesis 10 and 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Yawan.
It's telling you the sons of Japheth. Read it again.
Genesis 10 and 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Yawan.
Yawan. So that word there, put the right word in there.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto Yawan.
Have you sold? That's what it's supposed to be there. The one, which they call it the Greeks. So don't get confused with when you see Greeks over here and then Greeks in the New Testament and it means the same thing. That's why you got guys that call themselves trying to learn the scriptures. They're so bugged out and confused. Because they come across the word, oh, the woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician. Oh, that's a white woman. No. The actual word there is Hellenic or Hellenist. Now, in this case where it says Greece or Greek in the Old Testament, it's talking about the so-called Greeks, Yawan. Yeah. But the people of Yawan are dark-skinned people, the Etruscans. Because who was living all up in Europe before the white man got there? The sons of Japheth. Yep. So how did they get out of there? Because the white man went up there and pushed them out of there. And so when they went up in there, they took on the name. Like when you go to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, it speaks about Gomer, Gog and Magog. So people go around and saying, well, that's talking about them Hawaiians and them Samoans up there. But it's actually talking about the so-called white man, because they pushed out the original people and they stepped up in there, so the name went on them.
I got
all right?
Back you up.
So you got guys that's going around calling themselves, you got certain Israelite groups that are actually going around saying that the Edomites, or the so-called white men, are not Edom.
Right.
They're the sons of Japheth.
Right.
They're stupid. They don't know the scriptures.
They're not learned.
Go ahead. They're not learned. They're not studied. Go ahead.
Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Go ahead.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
Go ahead.
They call their lands after their own names.
In other words, they make up names, or they'll keep the names of that land, or they'll take the name of a person there, like the name Rome. The white man refers to himself as the Romans, right? 2,000 years ago. Rome was named after a man by the name of Romulus. Which he wasn't an Edomite. He was an Etruscan, right, which was Japheth. All right. He had a brother named Remus. Romulus and Remus, and it was said that they were suckled by a she-wolf. And they have archaeology where they show the two sons, the two brothers rather, Romulus and Remus, and they're under there sucking on the breast of a she-wolf. So in history, the white man said, this guy was a great man, because he was raised up by animals, and he existed, he kept living. So we're gonna name this place after this man right here, even though he wasn't an Edomite. All right? You got something?
That's it on that.
Okay, go ahead, brother. What we got?
Joel chapter 3 verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border.
And that's exactly what they did. They removed us far from our border. That was during what time? You had the incident when you had 70 AD. Give me Babylon and Timbuktu. Get that out there. You had 70 AD, and then after 70 AD, we went into some of us, a certain number of us fled into the interiors of Africa, and we stayed down there for approximately 1,500 years.
Right.
All right? And this is what this man, Rudolph R. Windsor, a so-called black man, show him, and he got a beard too. He looked like he can pass for a Benjamite. And then when you read about him, it tells you what universities he attended and so forth. And he went around the world too. And he's a scholar, he was an archaeologist, so forth and so on. And he's a researcher, right? And this is what he found. Go ahead.
Babylon and Timbuktu, page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
Read that part again.
It says, during the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. So we know by history, by historic accounts from different scholars, that they know that the Israelites fled Jerusalem under the hands of the Roman Empire, and they fled into what? The interiors of Africa. But then they go around telling you that you're African. You're African. We ain't no goddamn African American, man. We're Israelites.
That wasn't even.
And that's the title. All right.
Right. I got
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 36:1. Also,
There's more to that. Go ahead.
Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, because the enemy,
The so-called white man, go ahead,
have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
Right, we got the land of Israel. Go ahead.
Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord God, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen.